Hello and welcome to the Mets in the UK podcast. My name's Tracy and I'm joined today by the beautiful Jo. How are you doing, my darling?
I'm all right, my love. Yeah, just the two of us then.
Just the two of us. Tom's on his jollies, I think, and Toria is having a little celebration because it was her first day in her new job. And now
Congrats.
now it's public, I can say that. So yeah. So congrats, Tor.
Yeah, well done.
Yes.
Well done. Have a fab day. But we could get up to all sorts without them.
I know. Can you imagine the chaos we could cause?
Should we
Hmm.
be? Should we be sensible? Yeah,
We try.
yeah. Let's try.
Let's try. This past few days, well, since the last pod, have been interesting.
Hmm.
So the Mets swept in a series by the Braves, six straight losses, back-to-back series sweeps with home runs from Taylor and Soto. And then the Mets went on to lose the series to the Phillies 2-1. But we did have a string of amazing home runs in one of the games. We had them from Alonso McNeil, Lindor, Soto, Nimmo, Young, and Alvey. And game two was the first game in MLB history to feature seven or more home runs where all home runs were solo homers.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because we got a lot of home runs, but at the same time, we had no one on base when they were doing. They were hitting
Yeah,
them.
because we're so good with runners in scoring position.
Can you imagine if they'd have done that with a few on base each time? It'd probably been a record score, let alone number of home runs. But no, we can't have all good things, can we?
Yeah. So in game three against the Phillies, a game where Lindor hit a home run. Uh, First time. Sorry, these are Tom's notes. I'm blaming him for this. The Mets lost game three versus the Phillies in a game where Francisco Lindor hit a home run for the first time since July 3rd of last year. So we lost when Lindor homered.
Got you. Yeah, that is a bit
Yeah.
confusing. I can see why you
Yes.
hesitated there.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks,
not
Tom,
his
for the
first,
notes.
not his first home run since July 3rd last year.
No. But the first game where we've lost and Francisco's homered since July 3rd of last year.
That's what happens when things aren't going your way.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
But that's a really impressive record, though. Nearly a
It,
year.
it is. It's just we need it back.
Yeah. We're going to start a new one now.
I hope so because I'm getting a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm getting a bit depressed, but I'm getting a little bit annoyed.
Yeah, same. And Mets lost the first game against the Braves
Yeah.
again with a homer from Soto. It's nice to see Soto heating up a bit,
You know
but we
what?
could go on.
If we get Soto heating up the same time as Pete, the same
Yes.
time as Lindor, same time as the pitching, and not everything at different times, and then maybe if we got the end of the lineup also hitting,
Yeah.
it would be unbelievable. But that's baseball, I guess. It never quite happens at the same time, at least not for us, it seems.
No. And Dave from UK Phillies is claiming that this last series reversed the curse of the
No,
London series. Sorry, Dave, it takes more than that to reverse a curse.
you can't reverse the curse just by winning one series.
I
Yeah,
know.
unless they come back to London and do it, then that's the only way it's reversible in my book.
I think I agree with that. So, any other thoughts on this last week in Metsland?
Well, I think because they've all been like late ones, we've not had our. We haven't got our night owl here. I mean, it's
Yeah,
I've dipped in and out a bit, and I've woken up at certain times when cats have jumped on my head in the middle of the night and checked the
yeah,
score, and it's been pretty depressing. Apart from that one game two against the Phillies, where I thought this is it, this is
yeah,
the turning point,
yeah. We're
and
back on it.
it really, it really wasn't. Have you watched? Have you seen much of them? Any of the games?
Um, No, I've been the same. I've been kind of watching condensed games for sound like a total fair weather fan, but for the games that we lost, I watched the condensed games.
Yeah, but I'm worse than you. If we lose it, I can't even cope with doing that most of the time.
And for me personally, this weekend's lineup of broadcasters, it was just like, ugh. Yeah, just like that. We had Apple, which I don't mind because you got Wayne, he knows about the Mets and
Yeah,
can give it some real perspective. But then we have Fox and ESPN, who, let's face it, hate the Mets.
they do seem to, don't they? The only
Yeah,
team they seem to like is the Dodgers.
yeah, yes.
Now that's a whole nother
Or
level of like ugh, when you watch it.
or as they get called in our house, the LA Otanis.
Yeah, I think that I've heard a rumor that they're changing their name to that officially. So yeah, you're onto
Yeah,
something.
yeah. You heard it here first.
Breaking news.
Yeah. Who needs a Sky News ticker when you've got us?
No, I agree.
Um, but yeah, that combination of announcers really didn't inspire me to watch the game. They're no GKR. We love our GKR and our Howie and Keith and Pat. And it was just like, mm, I'll watch bits and bobs. I'll watch the condensed game. I'll watch the game that we won. But you can't inspire me to watch a full thing when they're hating on the Mets all the time.
Yeah, just get angry. You end up just
Yeah,
swearing at the screen, which is
yeah,
not good for
it's not
anyone.
pretty. It's not ladylike. It's not pretty. But yeah. So roster moves, and we do have an addition to this because there have been roster moves today before we recorded the podcast for a change.
Yes.
Yes. So we've got McGill on the IL with a right elbow strain, with Garza recalled from AAA. I think it was fairly obvious that something wasn't right with McGill.
Yeah, I think he
Um,
listened to our podcast last week and thought, "That's it, my elbow hurts. I can't take
yeah,
this anymore."
yeah. Um, Carson, I'm going with Benj.
Yeah,
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 has
that
been
sounds good.
has been selected for the All Star Futures game, which is part of All Star Week with players from the minor leagues. So they're saying that he's going to be like the next up and coming thing. So
Mm, I hope so.
that should be interesting.
Is he ready to play now? Can he play third
Please.
base?
Beatty has avoided the IL. Mets are still monitoring day to day, but he's showing improvements.
He's
So
not quite been himself. When I say he's not quite been himself, he was on that hot streak and he's kind of cooled off. So
yeah,
he's kind of back to his previous normal self, if that makes sense.
yes.
The sent down version.
Yeah, Tom did joke that he should go back to going back out of the room whenever Beatty is at bat, because there was a period of time where whenever Tom would do that, he'd hit a home run.
Well, for the greater good, I think he probably should start doing that again
Yeah,
because
do the world a
that
favour,
could be all we've
Tom.
got.
Yeah,
Start doing it. That's all we've got now. So
yeah.
see that.
Justin Hagenman and Daniel Nunez called up for Game 3 against the Braves. Max Kranick to the IL and Ty Adcock sent down.
It's amazing how all these things like it's quiet for ages, isn't it? Like no one's
Yeah,
getting injured, going along nicely, and then suddenly it just snowballs, and there's people going up and down and getting injured everywhere.
yeah. And it just feels like it's either one or the other. You've got a couple of injuries, or you have all the injuries.
It's that Senga thing. That I don't know. I'm putting this latest bad rundown. Just not blaming anyone for Senga getting injured, but just like from a mental perspective, it just seemed to knock us
Yeah.
back. We haven't quite got over that, so we do need to get a few people back. Get the good
Yes.
vibes back somehow.
Yep. And Tidwell was called up for Phillies game 1, and then Hageman was sent back down.
Oh
So it was a very brief visit for him.
God. Bless him.
Yeah. Positive news though, Sean Mania, our tribal chief, has been moved to AAA for rehab.
I can't wait to see him back, like properly back. I know he's been on the bench,
Yeah,
but just to get him back would be amazing.
it would, because he's got such a presence, and it's been great to have him around, even though he's been injured, but to have him around healthy, pitching well. Yeah, that I can't wait for that.
That's what we need.
It
Come on, Mama.
is. The Mets called up relievers Chris Davinsky and Tyler Zuber from AAA Syracuse, and then optioned Blake Tidwell and Justin Gahaza. So again, really brief visits. Yeah.
We've done well.
Friday
We've done,
after.
to be fair, just sorry, just say,
Well,
we've done well to keep up with all these comings and goings, so, well, Tom
yeah.
has, because
Yes.
it's getting very busy.
Yes. And then Friday after the game, Mets players told Mike Puma, the reporter, that they would win the next game, and they did. Tyrone Taylor was allegedly one of those that make these predictions. Keep predicting.
So not only is he Superman
Yes.
centre fielder, he's like Mystic Meg as well.
Yeah. And for any American listeners that don't get that reference, Google it. Go on.
Oh,
I dare
yeah.
you.
You'll love what you find.
Yeah. When she used to do the lottery predictions. Do you remember that?
I do. I listen to her all the time. She was my guide, life guide.
Oh, well.
Look
Thanks a
how it
lot.
turned out.
So with Crannick on the IL, he is out for 3 to 4 weeks with a flexor strain in his pitching arm, unlikely to return before August. Because you've got to ramp him back up after he's healthy again. Yeah.
At least we have got a lot of depth though, because all these moves do show at least we have got that flexibility to bring, decent people up when needed, because previous years we've struggled on that front a bit, haven't we? So at least we have that as a positive.
Yeah. Can you imagine this situation under old ownership?
Mm-mm.
We would be selling what was left of the farm to go get some rental pieces.
Like some dodgy, really old random
Yeah.
ones.
Or just really unproven players and then be wondering why nothing happened. Yeah, bless.
Those are the days.
Yeah, those were the days. If you remember them, we love you. We were there. uh, Alvarez has been optioned to AAA with Hayden Senger called up to replace him.
That was kind of inevitable, wasn't it? It felt like it was, even though he got that home run. Didn't really help his cause in the long run, did it?
No, but I think that he needs that mental space away from the pressure of the bigs to go work out his mechanics and find his stuff again because he's got it. He's proven that he's got it.
Well, he scored
He
20 odd home runs, didn't he? A couple, a season or so ago. So
Yeah,
it's in there.
yes. So it's just I think a matter of going back and finding, and he's a new dad as well.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah, and being away from his partner and baby and stuff while he's on the road and thinking about what his partner's going through back at home with the sleepless nights and everything else probably isn't helping matters.
No, but it's probably a good spot actually to mention because we asked what people thought, didn't we, on the old
Yeah.
Twitter stroke X. We've got a few replies. Some slightly more positive than others. I can see Mark
Mhm.
Baggies agreed it was the right thing to do. He said make Torrens the primary catcher. Alvey has tools and talent, but currently a liability. But you said currently a liability, so I think that's fair. Don't you?
Yeah, I agree.
What else we got? Rob said we came up very early and well ahead of schedule. We all thought we were getting a bat, but he kept his place on the roster through his performances behind the plate. The 2 injuries he's had have set him back, which again is fair because were they both hand injuries? One was a thumb or something? Yeah.
Yeah, didn't he break his thumb?
Which is going to have an effect. And then he went on to say it might be a good time for him to get a little breather, given he's just become a dad, which is what you said. Great minds think alike. I put that in. And he's been trying to learn how to hit in the opposite field in Major League ballparks. He's not even 24 until November. He'll come good again. And we do have to remember that he's still young, isn't he?
Still a baby.
He's still a little baby. And then there was one more who was Craig. He thinks it's a good move same things really. Even though he hit a home run last night, which was before that game the other day, his catching was shaky, and you can tell his confidence is low. He needs to rediscover his form and show us the player we know he is. Personally, think Terence is the better bet behind the plate at the moment. So I think we're all on the same page there.
Yeah, I think they're all fair assessments. Nobody's gone, oi, you're rubbish.
No.
It's just going through something at the moment, needs to work it out, which happens to every single player at some point in their career.
Yep.
And we're lucky that we've got Hayden Senger, who proved himself earlier in the season, that we can call upon
Mm-hmm.
and know that we've got a trusted arm and player who can call a catcher that can call a game.
Yep.
And that knows the pitches and can just get on with it while Alvy's working out his stuff.
No Singer and Thungar for a while though, which is a shame.
No. I did praise our friend Colin Cassell on his enunciation of the two, because I was there for the game this season where they first played Senga and Senga, and he differentiated the two beautifully, I thought.
Right, yeah, he's a pro, isn't he?
He is, he's a good one. And if you want to know more about our friend Colin, you can catch it in the guest podcast series that can be found on our YouTube. You can also find all our previous podcasts on Spotify and other podcast hosts. And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, and X at Mets in the UK, and use the hashtag MITUK to get involved.
That was smooth. Get you.
I know.
Love that.
Tom, you sacked. You don't need to come back.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah. So, Mets have signed left-handed reliever Richard Lovelady, who was recently with the Twins. I'm sorry, I'm such a child.
Please may I ask a question for future reference?
Mm-hmm.
What's the just out of interest? What's the kind of shorthand name for Richard? What would you?
I don't know, Joe. What is the shorthand name for Richard? No.
Oh. Anyone know?
Give us your answer in the comments.
Should we not go there?
No, let's not. Let's not. Anyway, we have welcomed back the hair himself, Travis Jankowski.
Yes.
Yes, he was called back up with Acuna and Tyler Zuber sent down to clear space.
Clear space just sounds so harsh.
Yeah, but you're not welcome anymore.
Oh, it's good to see him back.
It is.
Get a few hits as well as doing outfieldy stuff. So
yes, and Jose S has been moved to the 60-day IL. And today's roster moves that we caught before the recording of the podcast. Right-handed pitcher Frankie Montas has been reinstated from the 60-day IL and will start tonight's game.
Well, this is where I'm going to bow to Tom's pitching knowledge, okay? Because I'm worried, and I think I asked the question last week, should I be worried? And he convinced me that the rehab games, all that kind of stuff, they don't necessarily matter. He's just trying out things, So I'm hoping my fears will be, I won't need to worry, and he's just going to smash it.
Yeah, Tom. Yeah, I think I agree with Tom. It's like working out the mechanics, the feel for the ball again. And hopefully he will shake off his shaky start that he had in the minors and come back and be like, yeah, I'm playing with the big boys again and play like a big boy.
Hopefully.
And right-handed pitcher Chris Stavensky was optioned to AAA Syracuse following last night's game, and outfielder Jesse Winker has been transferred to the 60-day IL.
Oh, Jesse, come on.
Yeah, I'm presuming that Jose S and Winker were just moved. We say this because it sets off our phones and every other Apple device that we have in the vicinity.
I did this yesterday.
Yeah.
When I read out the tweet and my blooming iPad started going and my phones, I was like, oh no, I've fallen into the trap.
I'm presuming they've been transferred to the 60 because of the period of time that they've been on the 15-day. Sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Because I've not seen anything else to say different.
yeah. I don't think anything's changed injury wise, has it? It's just one of those
No, no,
administrative
no.
manoeuvres, should we say?
We do have some thoughts from the others on this. Toria says that she thinks that it's a good move for both Alvey and Acuna for different reasons. Alvey needs a reset. He doesn't have the luxury of figuring things out when playing with the big boys and needs to do the work in AAA. He'll be back, and the Alvey we know will be back soon enough. In the meantime, we know that Terence is more than capable, number one, and Singh gets a solid backup defensively. Sorry, I had to put my teeth back in there. If not as productive with the bat, although it's not beyond him, he did get at least one homer, I think, when he was up earlier in the season. And Acuna needs the playing time at the moment. He's not been getting it because he's been sort of bitting and batting all around the infield.
Is that a technical
And
term?
it is, it really is. And I didn't just add that little bit just for an embellishment. Um, Pinch hitting is hindering his development at the moment. He's not unseating Jeff, who's found his vibe, and Lindor will be playing as much as possibly can. As much as his pace is valuable for pinch hitting and running, it's not enough to be worth limiting his plate appearances. I feel it's second base or I should be wearing my glasses, or bust for the long term with us. I think I agree with Tor.
Well, and Tom has not. Thankfully, I haven't got an essay to read from Tom. And my
Yeah.
tweets should stay in, but he also agrees with the moves. He said they both need a reset, and he's expecting Mauricio to join them at some point too. So
Interesting.
future moves on the horizon. I feel for Mauricio, because just I thought he was going to come up and absolutely smash it, but it does seem that probably has been a bit too soon for him, and he's not quite done as well as we'd hoped. So maybe a bit of time, like the others, back down
Yeah,
on doing good.
yeah, and he's got the options available. So while he's not playing consistently, because I'm not even going to say it. You know what I'm thinking. There isn't room for him on the roster at the moment with our current infield and everything. Then that is a good thing. And it's a good thing for him to go down and hone his craft
hmm
and learn new skills and things
And he had
like
a bad
that.
injury at the end of the day. I mean, these
Yeah,
things
he
take a
really
while
did.
to get over, so
Yeah.
we can't
And
give up on him yet. He'll be
no, we
fine.
can't. But please do let us know your thoughts on the roster moves and the Mets' performance in the last week or so.
No swearing.
Please keep it PG. We're a family podcast. Um, yeah, so just let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are on the moves that have been made, the acquisitions of Jankowski and Lovelady, and yeah. I I must admit that me and Joe are actually children and did laugh hysterically when we heard.
I'm so immature, honestly.
Yeah,
I can't wait till he
but
starts pitching because I'm going to do some great tweets.
can you imagine how Keith's going to be with? Yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah, I didn't think of that. They're going to have to. Yeah, yeah, it's going to have to be. Hopefully, it'll be when there's Ronnie and Gary there, because when he's on his own with Gary, those two are really naughty. Have you noticed that? If Ronnie's not there, he's off. He goes off on one. So
Yeah, it's a bit
that
like me and you on this podcast.
we're those two, aren't we? Yeah, get my
We
tash.
we are. Yeah, okay. Moving swiftly on, we have had a couple of questions. Our first one is from Shay Parking Lot on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it this week. Do you have any superstitions when the team is losing? No? Sorry, like I say, I should be wearing my glasses. Joe, can you read out the tweet, please?
Yeah, hang on a minute. Let me. We're smooth at this. Yeah, do you have any superstitions when the team is losing during the game? During the game to get them to come back, he flips his couch cushions. Yeah, your glasses are fine. You're fine. Do you have any?
My
While you
glasses might be, but my eyes less so.
have you got any superstitions, Tracy, that you try to enact?
No, I don't think I do. I'm not a very superstitious person.
I am.
Um, no, I just keep cheering for our boys.
I've got. Do you know what? I don't want to. I don't want to take all the blame for this past run, but I do have a superstitious confession.
Go on.
So I have got a set of plates. Okay, bear with.
Right.
We've got a set of
Like
plates, and they're like,
dinner plates type
yeah, they're like
plates. Yeah.
multicoloured. So there's a red one, there's a
Okay.
blue one, there's an orange one, there's yellow. And I've got slight OCD issues. Well, I wouldn't call them issues, but slightly OCD, right? And if they're in the drawer, they have to be the orange one as plates always got to be on top of the blue plate, so it was orange and blue. And last
Mhm.
week, do you know what I noticed? They weren't in that
Uh-huh.
order. They were out of order.
Joanne, I demand that you sort them out because it will obviously sort out our boys.
So I think it might be my fault. So that's breaking news.
Yeah, yeah. The losing streak is actually Joe's fault.
I've fixed them now. So if you watch tonight, when we absolutely smash it, you can thank me. Um,
Does that
Tom's
mean we
mentioned
also need to smash your plates?
no, because they're really nice. They're that
Okay.
la crusette, whatever they're called. Anyway, um,
Mm.
Tom says he doesn't have superstitions, but he did mention he was going to start doing that, leaving the room for Brett Beatty thing again, which
Yeah.
might work. Did Tori have any
And
superstitions?
yeah, she says she generally just shouts out encouragement, obviously, at them and hope they can hear me from 3,500 miles away. And sometimes she falls asleep, and that often has the desired effect.
Yeah, sometimes that's the best way, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then do we have
Uh,
another question from CJ, wasn't it?
yep, go on, go for it.
How do you guys cope with the recent losses? He says. When I watched the games starting at 1 a.m., I fell asleep kind of angry and disappointed. But waking up in the morning, coffee with a condensed version could make or break my morning routine. So sounds like CJ doesn't cope well when we lose. I'm
No, CJ, I think you might need to step away from the caffeine.
yes.
No, um, I've been a Mets fan for coming up 20 years now. I've seen the highs and the lows and everything in between. So I just kind of roll with it. It's just one of those things. Every team, every player has a streak, be it a losing streak or a winning streak at some point. And it's just one of those things. You just have to have faith that they're going to get out of the slump and that it's going to just be a memory.
Oh, very philosophical. I think
Yeah,
Tor's on the same lines as you. She says she doesn't, get too down with the downs or too up with the ups. Although I don't
yeah,
enjoy downs and do enjoy ups, of course. Have to keep the faith. Again, there you go. Yeah, yeah. So they need another London break, is what she's saying to that question, CJ. So
absolutely.
I think she's onto something there as well. So.
Yeah, and not just CJ. Let's just move the Mets to the UK and everything will be fine.
I'm not sure that would go down too well with our friends and colleagues over the pond. Or we could share them, couldn't we?
Okay,
Um,
because I'm
and
feeling kind.
and I don't deal with this current kind of losing streak very well. But I deal with it in a very childish way and just ignore them. I don't want to
So
see
you
any
are, in
highlights.
fact, a toddler.
I don't want to see any highlights. I don't want to see any condensed games. Yeah, I'll just watch something else for a bit until they sort that beep out.
So let us know if you have any superstitions or how you deal with the the losing, the winning, and everything in between. Let us know in the comments, guys, because sounds like Joe might need some tips and CJ.
I think we do.
It really does. So looking to the week ahead, we have got another. Is it two games or three? How many game series is this
Got
Brave
another three. Have we got
series?
another three?
Have we got another three?
Well,
Do
if
we
Tom
have
says we've
to?
got another 3, then I'm saying we've got another 3.
It looks like a 3-game series that I can see, but I could be wrong. But we've got 3 games with the Braves at home, 3 games with Pirates on the road, with Saturday and Sunday being back to being UK friendly
Oh,
times, which means no national broadcasters, boys and girls.
about blinking time.
Mm.
What a
That
weekend. We had nothing to look forward to. Absolutely nothing.
no Gary Keith and Ron, no daytime baseball, but it's back, baby. It
So,
is back. And for those that wonder, sometimes we do get up at silly o'clock in the morning when it's Tory more than us. But like when it's a make or break game, I will be on the sofa at 2 in the morning.
we'll be there with our snacks and our pets and
Yeah,
our, whoever else is around at the time.
yeah. Energy drinks, coffee. Yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
I remember, oh God, must have been, 2015.
Easter's ours.
Yeah. And getting up at silly o'clock in the morning. I prepared the snacks before I went to bed because I'm not daft. And yeah, getting up and and vegging out on the sofa and watching the baseball at silly o'clock in the morning. Do you prefer a West Coast night game or an East Coast night game, Joe?
Oh my God, I don't know. I think probably an East Coast because I'll watch a bit and then I might, depending on, again, how important the game is, maybe have a bit of sleep afterwards. I couldn't wait until 3 a.m. to watch a West Coaster. I
I,
love
I've
that.
done I've done it before.
If I had to, I would, like you say,
Yeah.
postseason or something. But otherwise, no, I'm terrible. I like sleeping.
Or the thing I do is I wake up early and catch the end of the game
Yes, that's true. That's something that's good. Yeah, they give us, especially if they
if
give us
it's
a
a
bit of
West
extra
Coast
innings.
game. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
And sort of when my dog wakes me up, I go outside to do his business and sort of I might lay in bed once he's back in and watch like the eighth and ninth if I don't have to be up too early for work.
So what do we reckon then for these games coming up?
These pesky Braves, these pesky Braves. I think that we are going to turn things around and we are going to take 2 more from the Braves because I'm working on in my head it's a 3-game series.
I mean, there are 3 more games. I've just checked.
There are 3 more games. Then we're going to split the series. We're going to lose 1 and win 2.
I've got the same. We'll somehow drag ourselves off the canvas and
Yes.
win 2 more games somehow.
Yep. And how about against the Pirates, Joe?
That's 3 games, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah,
That's
I
the
think.
3-game
Yeah,
series.
I
Yep.
think. I think Sunday UK friendly games. We always get really excited. They're always a bit rubbish. So I'm going to say we'll drop that last game, but maybe win the other 2 somehow if we manage to find our feet again, like before that somehow, and everything
Okay.
clicks. That's what I'm hoping for.
So
4 and 2.
the Pirates are currently bottom of the NL Central. I know that doesn't mean much at this point in the season, but they are currently bottom with a record of 32 and 48, so a 400 percentage. So I do think we're going to drop 1 and win 2 as well, taking the series.
It would be
But I
nice to get our
don't.
sweepy mojo back, but I'm not sure it's going to come back quite yet.
Yeah, I want to bring out the sweep again.
Yeah, hopefully soon.
He's been in his cupboard for too long.
Yes.
So, guys, if you have any predictions for the series ahead, please do let us know. Don't forget you can catch us on Spotify, YouTube, all your podcast hosts as well. And we've got all our old episodes on YouTube as well. And you can find us on the socials of Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, X at Mets in the UK. Stop pulling faces, Joanne, unless
No,
you're going to do
I
it.
was just ticking them off mentally in my head. Yeah, cover on quite a lot.
Yeah. Well, it
Fair
doesn't
play.
hurt that I've got the ticker running in front of me. So Yeah, see, clever girl. And using the hashtag MITUK to get involved. And all that leaves us to say is let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets.